Hi everyone. So again, in following my intro theme, just to remind everyone, my name is Crystal. I'm the real Christina from the Crank books, and I'm here telling my story. And after I'm done doing that, then I want to kind of expand and start including other people in their stories and see what we can do about reaching more people and help them through. Okay. Um, Now, I kind of want to start today by saying I have a little surprise at the end. Obviously, I can't have it together every day, and today is one of those days. The kids are all off at school, so I'm getting a little help from Clyde to take care of Kason for just a little bit, try to get enough quiet to make a video. But I'm going to bring him in and introduce him to you guys at the end. I'll do a quick pause and I'll bring him in so you guys can meet him for a quick second. Um, the to start where I left off. After James, I was done with relationships for a while. I was now looking for another one. Over the next couple of years, I did get a little strange on the side, but I never committed myself to any kind of a relationship. I was just over trying, and I was sober the whole time. Just so you know, after again, I got sober for Caleb and that pregnancy and birth, and then I stayed that way on my own. That was a secret relapse nobody knew about. I didn't go to rehab or anything else. I just kept it to myself and did the right thing for my child. We were inseparable, me and those kids, for a little bit. And again, I was not even drinking, nothing at all. I had nothing going into my system at all for a few years. I moved around a few times, a couple different apartments, and then I ended up getting a little help from my mom and moving into a 3-bedroom double wide, which was really nice for a bit. It was a lot of space. It was exactly what we needed, and I was doing really well. I was still working for the newspaper. Again, I worked for them for 11 years. I was a sales manager, so a lot of those kids helped me through. I kind of took on the role as their second mother, and hundreds of kids came into my van, but there would be a set amount that stayed for a long time, and then when one would leave for whatever reason, their mom wouldn't let them work anymore, stuff like that, then we would replace that person in, and I became really, really close to a lot of those kids. Actually, my best friend now is one of those kids. She started out just as a kid in my car, but she's wise beyond her years, and we click on a very higher level now. So, but a lot of those friends are those kids. I mean, are still important to me. I keep in touch with them. I try to make sure they're okay. They spend more time with me in a day than they did with their own parents. Including the weekends. Like generally we try to take Sundays off, but they would work with me all day on Saturday. And so I not only had to try to keep them under control and get them trained and teach them things, but I also had to deal with their kind of teenage angst. They would get in fights in the car. They would, I had a minivan by this time. From every ridiculous extreme to another, I was basically a parent to those kids. A lot of them called me mommy too. But we had a lot of fun. It was a really good few years. I was self-sufficient. I made really good money for a while until the newspaper started to die out a bit, and then it was a little bit of a struggle at the end. But I grew a lot as a person those years. I became a better adult, and I'm thankful for that and for those kids. And I know if any of you guys are listening, I still love you all. I miss you all so much, and hopefully at some point, eventually they'll see my channel and they'll jump on and take a look. But I love those kids so much, and somewhere during the middle of this, I actually got into like a kind of a semi-relationship with Robbie, who actually has just recently passed away. I think it was like heart complications or something. But Um, we were never in love per se, but we were a good couple for a little while. And I was on Depo-Provera, which is a shot that you get every 3 months to prevent pregnancy. And still somehow defying all the odds, I became pregnant again with my little girl. Um, that is kind of what split me and Robbie up because Robbie did not want another kid. Now, I kept telling the doctors, I I know I'm pregnant, so I have to be pregnant, and they're telling me I'm crazy. It's impossible. I'm feeling little movements in my belly, but you couldn't tell because I wasn't really showing, except for I had a huge hernia from Caleb was an emergency C-section, and they cut him from the belly button down out of me, and they messed everything inside of me up. So I had a hernia the size of a baby's head on my left side in my belly, and it never went down. It was always just a bulge there. And they were telling me it's the hernia. It's because your intestines move weird through that gap, and all this other nonsense. Well, one day I felt what was most assuredly not intestinal movement. I knew it was absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt 100% a solid baby movement, and I was like, how can that be? So I go down to the dollar store and I get a pregnancy test, and it's instantly positive. Now that my gynecologist and other doctors refused to test me, I told them I know I'm pregnant. I've been pregnant a bunch of times, but they wouldn't listen to me. They told me I was crazy. They told me there was no possible way, and yet here I am pregnant. So um, I went down to at the time, the quickest, cheapest way to figure out if you're pregnant is go down to the abortion clinic and have them check you first. It costs $50 for them to do an ultrasound and tell you what's going on. They told me I was 7 months along, and I about dropped off that table. I had no idea. Depo does make your periods go down to almost nothing, and so it was really hard to tell any of that. But all of a sudden I'm 7 months pregnant. So Robbie's telling me, well, you have to get an abortion. I'm like, you don't abort a 7-month-old baby. It's just, 7 months in the womb baby. It's impossible. You don't do it. And I would never do that anyways. So we ended up breaking up over it. He's thinking I'm going to go after him for child support. And I just brushed him off. Nonsense. It was just nonsense. And I didn't want to deal with it. He didn't need the stress, and I wasn't trying to ruin his life. I just wanted my baby. So I had Estrella. Her name is Estrella Rain. She kind of goes by Star these days, but beautiful, beautiful little baby girl. And again, everything was still good for until she was almost 2. And then I met Brian. Now, at first, Brian seemed like the nicest guy ever. My cousin Nikki, who I was very close with, and who has died of cancer the last few years here, used to date him like a year prior, and they were still friends. And so we were just gonna hook up for a quick bang, and it turned into more. And he seemed like the sweetest, nicest guy ever, but I guess a lot of narcissists come off as sweet and nice at the beginning, and their tendencies don't show till later when they start controlling things. And that's kind of what I got trapped into. Now, when I met him, he was supposedly sober, but some warning bells went off later, which made me think that he was actually getting high on the sidelines. Maybe not every day, but he was. I think getting high and just not telling anyone. And then we ended up getting close pretty quickly. Now, at this time, my dad had come to live with me. He lived with me for actually a couple of years, and he stayed at the house. He watched the kids while I worked. It was a really good arrangement. We were able to actually really spend time together and stuff. And Brian wanted to move in, and my dad kind of had an issue with it. He did not like him. They did not get along at all. But he sucks it up, and he dealt with it. And for the first few months, it was okay. They kind of argued a little bit on the sidelines. And I should have had some warning bells in, because Brian would do weird things like watch my dad and then report back to me, well, your dad's watching me. And I'm like, seems to me like you're watching him. Like, what's going on? And I had him calm down a few times. And then the unthinkable happened. Brian, after weeks and weeks of trying to talk me into it, after years and years of sobriety, talks me in to going to get a little cocaine on a weekend one time. And I finally cave, and I'm like, but not dope, because cocaine gets you high for 15 minutes, and then you're done with it, and you're not high anymore, and I could deal with that. We did that a few weekends, and then started to get more. We go hook up 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, I'm not going to be broke over this. Why are we doing this to get that 15-minute high when we could pay $20 and get the same high to last longer for a lot less money? And that's how, of course, the second relapse started. I'm going to kind of pause right there because the second relapse has a lot to tell, a lot. I escalated pretty quickly in that one, and I want you guys to meet Kaysen, and I don't want the video to go over so long that I can't get it downloaded and stuff, okay? So I'm going to put a quick pause, and I will be right back, and I'm going to bring my little boy in and let you guys meet him. 1 second. Okay, say hi, Kaysen.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is Kaysen Chaos. Look in the camera so everyone can see you. That's you. He's, as you can see, I'm coming along. Yes, that is a cat. I just wanted you guys to meet him. This is Kaysen Chaos. It's like I knew he was going to be chaotic from the moment he was born. But he likes to be able to see himself. He likes to take selfies with me and stuff. But this is my autistic son. Stop playing with everything. You're going to mess it up. And as you can see, he's doing a lot better. He's thriving, not in the presence of a tyrant. So don't forget, like and subscribe. Share my page like crazy. I really want to get out there. And again, as my story comes to a close, I want to do some other things. I want to expand. I want to tell other people's stories if they want to tell it, or if they want to send me their stories and let me tell it for them. Please start messaging me, PM me, inbox me, anybody who is interested in maybe telling the story, whether you're actively addicted, whether you're recovered, whether you're struggling. I want to hear about it. It helps to share your story. It helps to connect with people. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to connect with you guys, and we can talk about whatever you may be struggling with, and maybe I can help. Okay? All right, thanks, guys. Please subscribe. Please share. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get my book out there. I'll be working on that today if he gives me a chance. Otherwise, I'll be working on it tomorrow. I say the letters probably more what's going to happen. But I wanted you guys to meet him. I was able to make a video today with him, which is kind of a miracle in itself. And so I thought he deserved a little camera time. All right, thanks, guys. And I will see you tomorrow.